All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Gonzo'S Sports Room, Wednesday, July 13th, 2022. Got a pretty good show tonight. The Reds just lost on two wild pitches in the 10th inning. Oh man, hey, they had a 5-game winning streak. I saw a stat. They are 2 games below 500 since May. So if they just went and got off to that damn 2-23 start of the season, they would be right. They would be right there in the Central Division in the National League, because it's not like the Cardinals and Brewers are just world beaters. So, but I'm joined tonight. Been joining me here a lot lately. Sports Judge Jonathan Mathis. How you doing tonight, man?
Hey, what's up, everyone? What's up, Chris? How you doing, man? It's great to be back on. Man, we got plenty to talk about tonight because there's a lot that's happening in baseball right now. You know, it's been a surprise firing today. Yep. I know you heard the news about the Blue Jays manager getting canned today. And then the Orioles, man. How about the Baltimore Orioles on the verge of winning 10 straight games? Wow, who saw that coming, right?
I know it's only All-Star break, but they're starting to look like they might be a playoff team.
Oh, a wild card team,
yeah.
Best, right?
And to me, that'd be about a year early.
Right. And last night they extended the winning streak to 9 games. That's the longest since 1999. So, I mean, that's pretty impressive stuff from a team that's been, you know, inferior for a very long time, that's been irrelevant, and a team that's been a laughingstock to many, you know, a team that hasn't been able to put it together year after year, and a team that has been in a depth of despair. You know, it's amazing to see a turnaround, but can Baltimore fans really get excited about it? Because a few years ago, they got off to a hot start, and then, you know, they flipped the switch off, and they went into the darkness and disappeared, and we didn't even know where they were. And how about the Seattle Mariners, man? The Pacific Northwest boiler. You know what I mean? The guys that got into a brawl. I'm trying to say brawlers, but my speech impediment is getting in the way there. But you know what I mean? Yeah. How about those guys, man, over there in the Pacific Northwest? They're 12-2 since that brawl with the Angels.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, it could be weird things that change the momentum of your season. Going back to Baltimore for a second, because I'm glad you brought them up. Baltimore's front office, they have to go all in here at the trade deadline and try and do what you got to do to get a piece that you think is going to make you better, because you're starting to look like a team that could be a wild card team. And to me, that's a year early. So you can't be sellers. You got to be buyers and show this team that you believe in them, and that you believe that you're maybe just one piece away. but and your fans. I think if you sell and you don't do nothing at this trade deadline, and you guys do make the playoffs, the fans are going to be pissed off because they're always going to say, "What if we would have added that one piece?" So I think Baltimore needs to go all in on this season.
Yeah, and I think they will seek another player to add to their roster before the trade deadline. Maybe a veteran starting pitcher, in particular. Someone
a veteran starter or a veteran reliever.
Right, or a veteran reliever. I think a guy that could fit in their starting rotation is one of the guys that you know quite well down in Cincinnati, and that would be Luis Castillo.
I'm hoping he don't go nowhere.
Yeah, I know you're hoping he doesn't go nowhere. Or, another guy that could be targeting is the Oakland A's righty, Frankie Montez. If I always say it, I always butcher his name.
And then Tyler Malley for the Reds has been another one that's been mentioned as well.
Right. And, both of those pitchers are under club control through next season. So you'll get at least one more year out of them. I mean, they also could pursue a controllable starter. Maybe they look at a guy like Blake Snell. Now I know Blake Snell has been up and down this year. He hasn't been that same starting pitcher that he was in Tampa Bay, ever since he was pulled out of that game 6.
But sometimes a change in environment can do a guy a good thing.
Right. So, I mean, from a team that's looking to cut salary, someone like the Padres left-hander, Blake Snell, would be a great option for them as well. It'll be interesting to see what they do, but I do think they are searching for another strong arm to help bolster that starting rotation.
And the Mariners, they're another team that I think needs to be looking at trade deadline to try to make a move as well, because their hitting is finally starting to show up some, and they've had a decent pitching staff for the last couple of years, but they've just haven't been able to score runs. Their hitting starting to pick up some. They need to me. They're another team that should be all in here around the trade deadline, because as a pitching staff, the Mariners have a 3.58 team ERA. That's pretty damn good.
That is pretty good.
But they're only hitting 230 as a team.
That is pretty good.
If they could add another bat to that lineup, that could really help their chances going into maybe a wild card or situation.
Yeah, that really could help. And it would be even better if they had two of their guys back, which is Mitch Haniger and Kyle Lewis. I don't see them doing too much of anything come trade deadline, though. You know why? They already made a lot of moves by acquiring Jesse Winker and what's the other guy's name? I'm going blank. He came from Cincinnati too. The dude that's hair is blonde. He plays at third base. Excellent third baseman. Great hitter. Already has 15 home runs in the season. He has 15 runs. Yeah, there you go. He has 15 home runs in the season. He's been incredible for them too.
So he had a great year and hit like 50 home runs, and he had two bad years in a row at Cincinnati.
Right.
And then they got rid of him, which I expected them to get rid of him. I didn't think they was going to get rid of Jess Winker as well.
Right. So I mean,
when Suarez gets hot, when he gets hot, man, he's dangerous. I mean, he can get hot and hit home runs in bunches.
So I don't think they're going to mess with the chemistry right now and the pieces that they have in place. And then I like Julio Rodriguez, man. That guy's future is promising. He's a star on the rise. He's showing a lot of potential. He has shown flashes of maturity and brilliance already. He has a big bat. He brings a lot of excitement to that clubhouse, and I think that's been contagious for that clubhouse as well. This is a guy who, loves the game of baseball. He's just an exciting, fun player to watch. And I was going crazy today. I mean, literally going crazy when I heard that he was going to be in the home run derby. I was like, wow, I can't wait to see that. It's gonna be incredible because you got a collection of talent in that home run derby on Monday night.
I'm glad that Pujols got in it. That's pretty cool that he's going to get in it.
I'm glad too.
His last season. That's pretty cool that he's going to do it his last season. So I've always liked Pujols, even though he was there for a long time. He was a red killer there when he was with the Cardinals.
I don't understand all the slander though.
He was one. No, I don't either. He was one of my son's favorite players there for a long time. So my son's a big St. Louis Cardinals fan. I hated him just because he was a red killer, like I said, but I respected him because of how good he was. I just hated because he always killed my Reds. But it's going to be nice seeing him in one more home run derby. It'd be cool if he got hot and won it. I don't think that's necessarily going to happen, but it'd be awesome if it did.
I just hope he doesn't.
He's one of them guys that I don't know. He should be respected a lot for what he's done for the game of baseball and what kind of player he was.
I completely agree. I mean, the dude's a class act. He's definitely a Hall of Famer. There's no doubt about that. That's a no doubter. And throughout his career, he's just been an amazing player. I remember him in his heydays in St. Louis during his first run with St. Louis. And I mean, that was a guy that you did not want to pitch to. What's up, Eddie?
Yeah, how's it going, Eddie? Thanks for joining us. That
was a guy that you were just terrified anytime you would have to face him.
Yep.
And he was like Barry Bonds. Every time you faced him, you had to make a decision. Do I walk him or do I pitch to him? Now Pujols is not that guy today, but Pujols used to knock everything out of the park. I mean, just an amazing, incredible hitter, had a great eye for the ball, and I'm really rooting for him. I'm really rooting for him to get home run 600. I believe he's 600 home run.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm rooting for him. I hope he gets it. He will get it. And it's quite fitting that's going to happen in St. Louis.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Thanks, John. Thanks, Eddie. I greatly appreciate that, man.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I was just watching. They were showing some of the highlights of the Angels game right now. But yeah, the Reds man lost on 2 wild pitches. Scoot got behind the catcher, sent the one runner, the ghost runner that you start with, sent him to third, or the free runner, I should say, sent him to third, and then the other one he scored on it.
Well, okay, so let's see. You guys lost on a wild pitch this year.
We won on a balk.
You guys lost when Hunter Green threw a no-hitter.
Yep, and we won on a balk.
It's just a strange year in Cincinnati.
Oh, yeah.
Is it something in the air? Is it something in the water? Is it something in that Ohio River?
Dude, on our 5-game win streak, 3 of them were comeback wins. 2 of them were extra innings. I think 4 of them was within 1 run or something. It's just been crazy.
Wow.
Been a lot of good baseball games. I mean, it's fun.
Yeah,
they've been fun watching.
A lot of good, exciting, close games, but a lot of ill fortune as well.
And me and Frankie been talking back and forth during the games because he's a big Yankee fan. So we've been talking back and forth during the game. So
yeah, Frankie's a huge Yankee fan.
So that makes it fun too.
Yeah, me and him are hoping for a Dodgers Yankee World Series. I mean, I've been hoping for that for a few years now. The Astros, damn it, they ruined it in 2017.
If the Reds don't make it, I'd like to see a Subway Series. Just because that would be cool.
The Mets versus the Yankees in the World Series?
Yep.
That would be cool. That would be 2000 all over again.
Yep. It'd be cool to see another Subway Series.
That would be 2000 all over again because the last time
the kind of audience, that would watch a Subway Series.
Oh, hell yeah.
It'd be one of the highest rated World Series.
Yeah, you got 2 prominent New York teams playing against each other in the World Series, of course. And then you got Yankee fans that travel really well, and Yankee fans are just all over the place. I mean, you go outside my house, you can find Yankee fans. Yankee fans are everywhere.
Yeah.
They're all over.
Yeah,
You
they're
got
all over. You
Laker
see them
fans.
here, you see them everywhere.
Right. You got a lot of Laker fans that's from LA, but they root for the Lakers, but they root for the Yankees in baseball. I never understood that one, but
Yeah, how's that? I don't understand how that works.
I mean I guess because it's a storied franchise, and maybe during their childhood or something, there was a specific player on the roster that they liked and they cared about a whole lot, so they just became a fan of that team. I don't know. To me, that's weird.
Yeah.
I have a friend like that. He all over the place. He liked the Lakers for basketball. He liked the Yankees for baseball, and guess who he liked for football? Guess.
New England?
No, the Dallas Cowboys. And in college football, he like you gonna laugh at this one. College football, he like Notre Dame.
Oh man. Notre Dame fans are everywhere too.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
Yep.
For being a college team, that's crazy. Notre Dame fans are everywhere.
It's the storied franchise. It's the rich history, I'm guessing, behind it.
I live in Indiana. I've never been there yet. I'd love to go. I need to go to a football game there. We just haven't.
Oh yeah, I heard the atmosphere is nice. I heard
It's about
it's a different feel when you're there.
Around 3 hour drive from where I live.
Okay.
So it's not too bad. We just haven't done it yet.
Since you're within the proximity, you might as well go check that out.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Weekend, go have a nice time and enjoy a Notre Dame game.
But yeah, the way baseball season's starting to shape up right here before the All-Star break, I think the second half of the season is going to be real interesting to see what happens. See if the Yankees going to be able to lead wire to wire and make it to the World Series, or are they going to have a big collapse? Or same thing with the Dodgers in the National League. Are they going? You know what I mean? Because there's always seems like there's a team that collapses, and then there's a team that just gets on a historic run.
Oh, that's always.
So it's going to be interesting to see who them teams are this year.
Right. And that's baseball for you. Let's see if what the Yankees are doing. Let's see if this is sustainable. You know, I think the big thing for them, because Aaron Judge is such a key component to their offense, I think the biggest thing for them is keeping him healthy. You know, let's see if he can stay healthy. You know, every time he's at the plate or every time he makes a play in outfield, you're holding your breath, hoping this guy can stay healthy, because he's had his history of injuries as well that has kept him out. You know, I think he's huge for them, and he's showing it this year. He's having an MVP type year, you know, with the Yankees. So he's very important. He's a very important player to that offense. Carlos Stanton is another one. You know, I think if those two guys can stay healthy, the Yankees have a good chance. And if Anthony Rizzo, you know, keeps producing the way he has as well, I think the Yankees won't have that much of a problem. The Yankees pitching has been a surprise. Nestor Cortez, he's been a surprise. You know, I don't know what he did, but he made quite the transformation because he's been outstanding.
Yankees have a team ERA of 3.05. So I mean, their pitching has been outstanding all season.
Their pitching has been outstanding all season. Garrett Cole has pitched better.
I think the Astros are the only team that have a better team ERA than the Yankees.
Yeah,
and the Astros are like right under 300. That's unreal.
Yeah, because I don't think anyone expected the Yankees to be this great, right? Coming into the season, because when we were ranking these teams,
it's probably about a year earlier than what people thought they were going to be at this level.
Right. And when we were ranking these teams, during the not during the season, but before the season, we all had the Blue Jays as the favorites in the AL East. Well, we were wrong, because it's the Yankees that's just been amazing. And part of the reason is because of their pitching. You know, they're just incredible. And I think the Yankees this year too have the most All-Stars in this
Well,
year's All-Star game.
speaking of the Blue Jays, they've been so disappointing this season that they fired their coach today.
Yes, they fired the manager.
Was you? I wasn't expecting for them to do it like not today.
Yeah, well, you know,
I mean, I figured if it was going to happen, they was going to do it maybe during the All-Star break, but I didn't think it was going to happen today.
The timing of it, right? And also, you know, I believe if the playoffs started today, I believe the Blue Jays still have a wild card spot.
I was going to say, I think so. I mean, yeah, they've been disappointing, but it ain't like they've been flat out terrible.
But to fire their manager, that was a bit surprising. But you know what, Chris? Managers nowadays in Major League Baseball, they have such a short leash.
You know what kills the Blue Jays right now is their starting pitching. They only have 2 starters that are doing any good.
Yeah.
They have a 4.08 team ERA. If they just had one other starter that stepped up, they'd be in the 3s as a team ERA, and their season would look totally different.
Right. And you're right. Their season would look completely different.
I mean, they're 4 games over, or excuse me, no, that's the wrong team. They are the Blue Jays are 4 games over 500 going into the night.
Yeah, I don't know, man. We seen managers come and go this season. Like we seen Joe Girardi get fired, and
Philly. Yet La Russa still has a job with the White Sox, who's been the most disappointing team this season in baseball.
Right. And he's still holding on to his job. Right. That's
Dude gets fired for the Blue Jays that technically would be in the playoffs right now. Gets fired, but La Russa's still sitting over there nice and comfy in Chicago. It makes no sense how this dude still has a job. And I'm not even a White Sox fan.
Yeah. And it makes no sense to me how Joe Madden got fired.
I want the Reds to fire David Bell and hire Joe Madden.
That would be a good hire for you guys.
Or Joe Girardi.
Anybody over David Bell.
I'd be happy with Joe Girardi as well.
Oh, I know you would. I know you want David Bell out. I know
David Bell and the general manager and David Bell's dad. All 3 of them dudes can.
Yeah, I know you
hit the curb.
I know you've been crying and shouting for them to fire David Bell, but
I mean, it comes to a point you got to want to.
Too much of a conflict of interest over there, though. There's too many people involved, and you got family involved. So, I mean, the only way that happens is that you clean house. You got to clean house and get rid of everybody, because if you do bring in a new general manager and you bring in if you bring in new team executives, they're definitely not going to keep David Bell around. They're going to bring in their own guy.
And they need to, because, man, I mean, you can't keep saying, oh, it's injuries, oh, it's this, oh, it's that.
Right.
There's one common denominator, or 2 common denominators, the general manager and David Bell. I'm tired of hearing about how much talent we have in the minor leagues. If we have that much damn talent in the minor leagues, bring them up to the majors and let's see what they can do. At some point, you got to decide that you want to try to win. Like the stretch they're on now. They lost the game tonight. I ain't mad if they lost tonight because it was a competitive ball game. The last month or so, they've been competitive. That's all I want to see is I want to be able to watch a Reds game and it be good baseball, not the Reds getting beat by 4 or 5 runs every night.
Right.
If they lose by a run or losing extra innings, okay. Hey, that was a good baseball game. You had a chance to win it. It didn't go your way. But when you're not trying to put a competitive team on the field, that's when I start bitching. It's like, hey, at least let's be competitive.
Right.
Hey, people spend a lot of money to go watch baseball games and stuff. Even if you don't go to the games, you pay a lot of money to get a TV package. Fans do a lot of times,
right?
So you get to see all the games. So,
right.
You know what I mean? So to me, you're slapping your fans in the face if you're not trying to compete year after year. I understand sometimes there's going to be rebuild years, but you shouldn't be rebuilding for 20 years.
No, that's too long. And how long do you expect fans to trust the process? They've sat around long enough.
When last year we was like 1 game out of the playoffs and you blow the team up.
Right.
Why'd you blow the team up for? We was 1 game out of the playoffs, and there was and we had a lot of injuries. So why not run it back 1 year and see if you're healthy? What would have happened?
They did the same thing the Marlins did,
or maybe add a piece, but you don't blow it up.
Liquidation, come on, man, crazy. That's crazy though. But hey, yeah. How long do you expect fans to wait for greatness? By the time by the time you return to relevance, or by the time you become this playoff contending team, half of your fans will be dead
Last
because
time, the- last time,
you've been trying for so many years to figure it out, and you can never figure it out. And part of the reason why is because you give up all your damn talent, you dump your talent, expecting to win. And
yeah.
just it doesn't work like that. You got to develop that talent, keep that team together, and hope for a positive outcome.
And the last time the Reds won the World Series, I was 10 years old. I'll be 40. I'll be 42 in November.
I think I was 5 when they won that World Series. Was that 1990?
Yep, 1990.
I was 5 years old.
I was 10 years old. I remember watching it on TV and everything, but it's like, come on, I want to see another Super Bowl championship in my lifetime.
Yeah, I was 5 in 1990.
If I was 10.
Yeah, and that was a great time for baseball. I still remember my favorite NLCS, man. I'll never forget it. It was 1992. Remember that one? Braves versus Pirates, Game 7. Remember that Game 7? The legendary slide? Oh my goodness.
Yep.
That was a great game. But I tell people what really decided the outcome of that game. And if you watch that game, you'll see what decided the outcome. It was defense that won that game.
Yep.
David Justice throw.
Back in that era of baseball, you had to be good defensively, or you weren't going to be able to compete.
David Justice,
because it wasn't all home run. It wasn't all home runs or strikeouts. It was your defense had to play.
Right. And if you remember correctly, David Justice made one hell of a throw to home plate in that game.
Yep.
And he nailed the runner at home plate, and it was Orlando Marcet. Marcet kind of hesitated, but he attempted to come home, and David Justice, the arm that he had, because this dude had a cannon arm. Remember, he had a hell of an arm, and he threw it, and he threw the ball on point, and it nailed Orlando Marcet.
Yep,
that was the game-changing play in that game. That's what decided the outcome of that game.
He threw a laser.
He threw a laser. I think that was like in the 7th inning. It was like in the late innings.
I think it was the 7th inning.
Yeah, it was the 7th inning. I remember that. 1992. I watched that game with my dad.
Dude, there's not much better than watching playoff baseball.
Right. Yeah, that's when it gets good.
Yep, I love watching playoff baseball. I watch every game, whether the Reds are playing or not during the playoffs.
I do too. I follow closely. Even though it's kind of difficult because you got football going on at the same time.
Yeah.
So
I'm not gonna lie, like during
back and forth to games.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. During the regular season, I watch about every Reds game, and then I'll watch highlights of the other games.
See, you're like me. I watch every Dodger game.
But once the playoffs start, I watch every game.
Yeah.
NFL is about the only sport where if a Colts are on, I'm watching the Colts. But then if the Colts aren't on, I'm watching whatever game I can find.
Oh yeah. I'm like that with football too. I'm pretty much like that with all sports. I'm like that with basketball. I'm like that with football, baseball. Whatever game's going, I'm gonna watch.
Really, I'm just honestly, I'm the same way with about everything. Because I think about the NBA, I'll watch the pace during the regular season. I watch Pacer games. I don't watch a whole lot of other games. Sometimes I'll watch Golden State play because there'll be the late game here, and if I can't sleep and I'm up, I usually watch that or the Lakers because we get Lakers a lot late.
Right.
But now in the NBA playoffs, I watch all the games.
Oh, everybody who's a basketball fan, they're almost forced to watch the Lakers because they always naturally televise.
In college basketball, I don't watch much other than IU until March Madness.
And what they did with the Laker games, man, they basically humiliated them by putting them on national TV.
Yo, dude, the Lakers are always on national TV. Always. I understand.
That was humiliation. That was national humiliation by putting them on national TV because they would lose almost every game.
Yeah, I understand why they put them there because of LeBron and everything. But yeah, it was. I mean, it's like, man, put different games on. I'd rather see a more competitive game, especially that late at night on the East Coast because them games.
Yeah. And
Them
then
games aren't starting here till 11 o'clock at night.
right. And then the Lakers also have LeBron
Yep.
too. So wherever LeBron plays, you know they're gonna put him on TV, and you know they're gonna almost certainly make sure you are following what LeBron James is doing.
I have a feeling teams rig the games in any sports to win in betting books.
I don't know. It's hard to rig a baseball game.
Yeah.
It's hard to rig a baseball game. It's really hard to rig a baseball game.
It is because
basketball, you could call a lot of fouls.
Basketball is easier to rig than way easier to rig than what baseball would be.
Right.
Football's like baseball. It'd be easier, or not like baseball. Football's like basketball. It'd be easier to do.
Rig, right? Because you could throw penalty flags, or you could call the wrong play, or there could be a no call.
Yeah, but I mean, in baseball, you'd actually be able to do it and have any effect. It would be so blatant that somebody would notice it.
Right. And because there's not as many rules as there is in basketball and football.
Especially now with every play being under every play, the dugout's looking to see if they want to use a challenge or not, and replay it.
Right.
I mean, it'd be hard in baseball
to actually rig a game, right? I wouldn't say all sports are rigged. I mean, sometimes I have my conspiracy theories about sports being rigged.
Don't get me wrong. There's sometimes, Damien, I'm running around the house saying the same thing you are. Like, this shit's fucking rigged. I'll get mad.
Right. Like they already know who's gonna win and everything.
If I truly thought it was rigged, I wouldn't go to the sports books. Go to the sports books on Sundays, some Sundays with my dad, and put a little bit of money on the games and watch football. If I thought it was rigged, I wouldn't put my money on it. But there is some days, I'm saying the same thing.
There's some days you have your suspicion that it could actually be rigged.
Yeah,
that the fix is actually in. You know, because when you watch that one Super Bowl where it's Seattle. It was the Seattle Seahawks, remember? And you know, I often question whether or not Pete Carroll and that team got paid, as if they were paid to lose that game. Because why, for the life of me, I don't understand why you didn't run the football against New England. All you had to do was run the football with Marshawn Lynch, and you would have won the football game.
Yeah, one of the best short yardage running backs in the game, and you throw the ball on the 1 yard line.
Decide to pass it on the 1 yard line. I didn't understand that one. And then Aaron Rodgers a few years ago.
As soon as they done it, I told my dad, I said, "Well, Patriots won this game."
And then Aaron Rodgers had enough room to run for it. On fourth down, he had plenty of room. I keep telling people's like, no, he wouldn't have made it. He would have came up a yard short. No, he would have made it because of his mobility and his, his athleticism. He would have picked up the first down, but he didn't run. So I mean, that's when you wonder and have your questions about whether or not it's rigged.
Speaking of football. Did you see the top 10 receiver list that ESPN put out today?
You got to tell me. I did not look at that list.
Oh my goodness!
I don't look at ESPN's list anymore because it's so blasphemy.
Okay, I want.
It's blasphemous.
I'll read the list off, and I'll tell you what. There's a couple of them that are just unbelievable. But at number 1, they have Devontae Adams.
Okay, that sounds about right.
2, Cooper Kupp.
Okay, all right.
3, Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
4, Justin Jefferson.
Okay. He had a breakout year last year. I can see him being in the top 5.
5, Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
6, Stephon Diggs.
Mm-hmm.
7, DeAndre Hopkins. 8, Mike Evans. 9, Deebo Samuel, and 10, DK Metcalf. To me, DeAndre Hopkins should be in the top 3. And Tyreek Hill's not a top 10 wide receiver to me. I don't know how he's number 5.
Yeah, I don't know how he's number 5 either. I agree. He's athletic. He's a skilled receiver, but he's not a top 5.
I would take Hill out at 5. I'd take Hill out at 5. Move Hopkins up to. I'd have Hopkins probably at 2, either 1 or 2, and then I would take Hill completely off the list. And at 10, in Hill's spot, I'd put Terry McLaurin.
Okay, I would even move Debo up a little bit.
Yeah, you can move Debo up, maybe Debo up to like 7.
I mean, he was a vital piece.
But how the hell does do they have DeAndre Hopkins as the 7th best wide receiver in the league?
I don't know. I'm questioning that one. I have to chuckle at that one because
to me he should be 1 or 2. To me, he's 1 or 2.
Yeah, he should at least be in the top 5. I mean, give that man some respect. Put some respect on that man's name.
You put Tyreek Hill in front of him.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's ridiculous. It's probably because he played with Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City. That's the only reason I can see, but that shouldn't have anything to do with him being a top receiver, being a top 10 receiver, because he's not a top 10.
Don't get me wrong, he's a good player. And he's probably the fastest player in the league.
Oh, he's explosive.
People are about ready to see how he's not a good route runner, because now he has a quarterback that can't throw a deep ball. He don't have a quarterback that can run around and make plays.
Right.
He's going to have to be more of a route runner. He's not a complete route runner.
He's not.
I'm not bashing him because I said, he's a great wide receiver, but I think he's a terrible fit in Miami with the quarterback they have.
Right.
But I just don't think, in my opinion, he's not top 10. When I saw it listed about top 5, I was like, you're kidding me, right?
Yeah, that's a little over the top for me. That's saying a lot about Tyreek Hill, but no, I don't think he belongs in the top 10. Not at all.
Did I miss something? That hasn't happened yet, has it?
What?
They message, what the fuck? Why would the Jazz trade Donovan Mitchell to the Knicks?
What? Is that breaking news?
I don't know. I haven't seen anything come up about it. I think I'm on. Yeah, I haven't seen nothing come up about it. So I don't know if that's been a done deal or not. I know. I did hear today that the Jazz were taking calls on Donovan Mitchell.
Let me see. I'm looking up right now. Hold on.
Damien says that the Knicks and Jazz are discussing a trade right now. So it hasn't happened yet, but I guess it's in talks.
Yeah, Utah Jazz now willing to listen to Donovan Mitchell trade scenarios.
Yeah, I did hear that earlier today. They were going to start taking calls on him.
They said Donovan Mitchell was shown wearing a New York hoodie. Also, that he was seen in a New York hoodie.
Why would he want to go to the Knicks, though?
I don't know. You're putting yourself in a worse situation.
Yeah.
You're better off staying in Utah.
Yep. I know
you want to play for the Knicks.
I know he wasn't happy in Utah, especially when Snyder left.
Yeah,
I know he was upset about that. And then him and Gobert didn't get along.
Well, yeah, it seems like he's giving a hint about his future destination. And it seems like that could be the New York Knicks.
I'd be telling the Jazz, trade my ass anywhere but the fucking New York Knicks.
Right.
I don't want to go to the Knicks.
Yeah, I don't know why he wants to go there either.
Did you see
maybe the future's bright with RJ Barrett. I don't know.
Did you see the running back list?
I didn't see any of those lists.
Number 1, they had Derrick Henry. 2, Jonathan Taylor.
Okay.
3,
I'll probably put Jonathan Taylor before Henry, though.
3, Nick Chubb. 4, Dalvin Cook. 5, Kamara. 6, Mixon. 7, McCaffrey. 8, Harris. 9, Aaron Jones. And 10, Williams. How Aaron Jones is 9th, I don't understand that. To me, he's right there in the top 3.
I don't know if I would have Devin Cook in the top 5. Would you have him in your top 5?
Let's see, I put
He's definitely a top
Henry
10.
Taylor, Jones, Chubb.
It's a no-brainer for me that Jonathan Taylor's top
5. At 5, to me, you could have McCaffrey there. You could have Kamara there, and Cook. I think all them guys are right there together.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. If McCaffrey is healthy and stays healthy, I think he would be the solid number 5 because that dude's unbelievable. Oh, yeah,
he's definitely a top 5 if he can show that he can stay healthy.
He's unbelievable when he's on the field. Yeah. And then quarterbacks,
how dynamic he is.
And then on the quarterbacks, the only things I didn't care for was they had Deshaun Watson at 9. I don't know how you have him at 9 when he hasn't played in over a year.
Right.
And then they had Dak Prescott at 10. And I don't believe that Dak Prescott's a top 10 quarterback.
Right. Cowboys fans would disagree with you. They would absolutely, start an argument with you about that.
I think Derek Carr
about it because Cowboy fans are delusional. Not to bash the Cowboy fan base, but I should say that a lot of them are delusional. Not all of them, but a lot of them are delusional, and they would tell you with no problems at all, and they would be brutally honest and tell you that Dak Prescott is a top 10 quarterback.
Oh yeah, they will. And then I thought they was so disrespectful that they didn't have Derek Carr or Kirk Cousins on this list. Them two guys should be on this list before Watson or Prescott. Them two, for I don't know why, but they're two of the most underrated quarterbacks in the NFL, in my opinion.
Yeah, Derek Carr is a very unappreciated quarterback. I always say that. I can't wait to see him and Devontae Adams on the field together. Those two guys played together at Fresno State. It's a reunion. It's gonna be fun to watch those two. That might be one of the best quarterback wide receiver combos next season in the NFL, along with Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. I think those are going to be the two most exciting wide receiver quarterback combos.
And then the other big thing that a lot of people were complaining about is that Lamar Jackson wasn't on the top 10 QB list. Me personally, I really don't think he's a top 10 quarterback, so I didn't have a problem with him not being on the list.
He's not, but if this makes Baltimore fans happy, I will say this: he is in the top 20.
Yeah, I'd put him top 15. I'd put him in my top 15.
He's in the top 20. So, that's better than not being in the rankings at all.
Yeah, he's in my top 15, but he's not in my top 10.
No, he's not a top 10 quarterback. There's too many other quarterbacks that's better than him.
And people say, he was a league MVP.
The top 10.
People say, he was a league MVP. Yeah, he was a league MVP. He had a great year that year. But
right.
What has he looked like since then?
Right.
He's had trouble in the playoffs. He, as of right now, could he move up to be a top 10 quarterback? Yeah, he has a potential to. But as of right now, I don't think he's a top 10 quarterback right now.
No, he's not. I agree with you. He's not a top 10 quarterback.
And everybody wants to blame the problems on the Ravens as wide receivers. If you look at it, when did Lamar Jackson start having some problems? When they lost their running backs. When they've had good running backs, Lamar Jackson's been almost unstoppable. When they lose their running backs, and then the defenses can just concentrate on Jackson, that's when they've struggled. It hasn't been all about the receivers like everybody tries to make it out to be. A lot of it's been their running backs. If you pair a good running back with Lamar Jackson, that changes that offense.
Right. And because Jackson, man, he's coming off his worst season, his worst passing season, of his career. What did he throw? He threw.
Oh, forget it.
He threw for 2,882 yards and has 16 touchdowns against 13 interceptions, while playing, behind a makeshift offensive line. And then he missed 5 games because of illness and injuries. So, I mean, it wasn't his best season last season. And then, his turnover ratio kind of spiked as well. He was turning over the ball too much. You got to do a better job taking care of the football. I think if he could do that, if he can eliminate the number of miscues, and if he can, work on his passing game and make better decisions with the football, then we could talk about him possibly being a top 10 quarterback, because we know what we saw when he first came into this league. He was a dual threat quarterback. He was at the top of his game. Everyone was hyping him up, but sometimes you see a quarterback in their first year and they're simply amazing, right? They're this unstoppable force. No one can quite figure them out. And then when defenses do figure them out, and then when the expectations are even heavier coming into next season, that's when you see them take a step back. That's when you see them kind of, regress a bit, because people know how to prepare for them. People know how to game plan and scheme for that particular quarterback. And I think that's what we saw with Lamar Jackson and why he has been struggling lately.
All right, I'm gonna put you on the spot real quick. Who would be your top 5 Major League Baseball teams going into the All-Star break?
Okay. Oh, that's easy for me. Well, okay, let's see. So first, at number 1, I would have to put the Yankees, of course. Does it have to be based on the leagues or just in general?
Just in general.
Okay, so I'm going to be fair and say the Yankees. They do have the overall best record in baseball. At number 2, I will put the Mets over the Dodgers right now at number 2. The reason I'd say that is because, look, the Mets, man, they got a great starting rotation. That starting rotation is deep. And they're doing this without Jacob deGrom. Max Scherzer came back recently. He's looked stupendous. He has didn't even show any signs of rust. Which was amazing. He came back and looked like that dominant pitcher that he can be. That perennial ace at the top of the rotation. So, I mean, I got to put them at 2. At 3, I'm going to put the Dodgers, because the Dodgers, there's no denying it. They have a very good lineup. There was people before the season started saying that this was historically the greatest lineup that they have ever seen in baseball. There was people saying that this Dodger lineup was that good, because you have Mookie Betts at the top of the order, you have Trey Turner, you have Freddie Freeman, you have Max Muncy, you have Gavin Lux, who's starting to play really, really well as well. So you have the hitters in that lineup. You got guys that can swing the bat and put the ball in play and make something happen. So then I got them at 3. At 4, and this is where it gets tough for me, because I just mentioned the top 3 teams. At 4, that's tough. Who would I put at 4 right now going into the All-Star break? That's tough, because the top 3 to me are easy. I don't know.
I'll tell you my top 5. I have Dodgers at 1. I still believe that they're the best team right now. I know they don't have the best record, but I think by the end of the year they'll get back in their groove.
Right.
I have the Yankees at 2. At 3, I have the Astros
Okay.
because of their pitching staff.
Okay.
4, I have the Atlanta Braves.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I would put the Braves at 4. I went blank on the teams.
And
My
then
head, I'm kind of exhausted. But anyway, yeah, I definitely have to put the Braves in my top 5. The Braves have one of the best exciting players in baseball, and that's Ronald Acuna Jr.
Yep. I have the Mets at 5, and then my dark horse team is the St. Louis Cardinals.
Okay, my dark horse team is the Mariners.
That's a good one too. I think the Cardinals are going to try to improve their starting pitching here at the trade deadline. If they can get another quality starter, they're going to be a tough out when it comes to playoff time.
You know who I think is going to kind of bounce back in the second half of the season? The Nationals. They're not winning the division. They're not. They might not get the wild card, but they can scare some people. I think if Juan Soto really gets going,
I think another dark horse team could be the Tampa Bay Rays.
Oh yeah. Don't ever count them out.
Because with their pitching staff, if their bats get going, they can be a tough out.
You think they have another magical run to the World Series?
Hey,
you never know.
You never know. That's what's great about baseball. You never know what's going to happen.
Yep.
Everybody says the Yankees are the best team, but just because everybody thinks the Yankees are the best team, don't mean they're going to win the World Series. A lot of years, the best team in the league don't win the World Series.
Right.
It's the team that gets hot and the team that gets the breaks
wins the World Series.
And
it doesn't matter how much talent your team has.
No. I mean, we've seen that with the Dodgers. The Dodgers have had arguably the best lineup for the last, 5-6 seasons? And how many World Series have they won?
1, and they disappoint.
So you know what I mean? It's like,
yep.
And the same thing with the Yankees. How many times have the Yankees had the top payroll in baseball and haven't won?
Yeah. I think they won tonight, too, the Dodgers.
Did they beat the Cardinals tonight?
I think they came back and beat them, yeah.
I knew the Cardinals was out front, but I hadn't seen what happened.
Yeah, they won 7-6, final score.
Blue Jays beat the Phillies. Red Sox beat the Rays beat the Red Sox. I picked the Rays to win that game though because McClanahan was on the mound.
What if the Blue Jays do the same thing that the Phillies did after they fired Joe Girardi?
Hey, they might. I still can't believe they fired Joe Girardi. I was surprised.
Yeah, I think a lot of people didn't see that. I was surprised by all these managerial firings.
White Sox got to win tonight. They needed that. They've been struggling.
That's who needs to be fired. And fans in Chicago have been calling for that man's job.
Well, fans in Chicago was mad when they hired him.
Yeah. They didn't like the hiring.
Oh, there was backlash when he got hired. Yeah, Dodgers won 7-6.
Yeah.
I really don't care who won other than one of the picks I gave out today was the Cardinals because main reason was because I don't bet against Adam Wainwright. Because every time I'd bet against Adam Wainwright, he would always beat me. So I quit picking against him.
That's a guy to me who's gotten better each year, it seems.
Yeah.
You know? He's almost 41 years old and he's continuing to get better. I don't know. I guess he prepares before each season and he, works on his body the same way LeBron James does or something because it's really incredible.
Damien says, "What's y'all's thoughts on the Le'Veon Bell saying he's not thinking about football this season, that his mind is on boxing?"
Okay, well then go box then.
I saw that, and for one thing, I was thinking how many teams are really out there in the Le'Veon Bell market right now,
right?
And then, hey, if you want to try to go be a pro boxer, go try to be a pro boxer. But he messed up. He hasn't been the same ever since he set out that year,
right?
And I mean, a lot of people blame it on the Jets. Yeah, they didn't use him right, this or that. Yeah, you could say that because Adam Gase is a terrible coach. but he hasn't went anywhere and had that burst that he had when he was in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I think his football days are pretty
He,
much over. I don't think he's feeling football. I
he
don't think
lost his burst when he set out that season. He lost his burst.
right. He's not as passionate about the game of football.
No,
I don't think his mind is there. I
no.
don't think he wants to play football. I think he wants to try something new. I think he wants to, pursue boxing. And best of luck to him. If that's something he wants to do, hey, do your thing.
I'll probably watch it because I love combat sports. So I watch almost all the fights. I watch UFC, boxing. I watch the bare knuckle. I watch all that stuff. I like them contact sports. But I grew up at wrestling, so I've always wrestled my whole life. So I've always liked the combat sports.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not really big on boxing. I mean, I'll watch some of the like prize fights or like some of the main events and stuff, but I feel like it's a sport that's done a poor job with promotion, and it's a sport that likes to take your money because then when you watch the fight at the end, you're usually disappointed. And I'm not gonna pay $50 to watch a fight. I'm just not gonna do it. No way.
I used 2 years ago. I used to always get the UFC pay-per-views.
Okay.
And then I at one point I stopped getting them. It was just too expensive. But then what we started doing was, like everybody would chip in on it, and we'd all go to somebody's house, but everybody would chip in on it. So
we would do that too.
There wasn't one person paying $75, $80 to get the show.
Right.
So I mean, yeah, it's expensive if you have to pay money like that.
Right. I'm so glad you can watch WrestleMania on the Peacock app now.
Oh yeah, it's nice.
Yep.
I watch that Peacock all the time.
Okay. Yeah, we have it too. We have the Peacock app.
I love WWE Network, going back and watching some of the old stuff.
Oh yeah, from the 90s and 80s and stuff. That's pretty cool.
Eddie says, yeah, pay-per-view will rob you dry.
Yeah, it will.
And he said, especially when they're 2 in a month for $80. Yeah, it's.
Well, wasn't the Mayweather fight with him and Pacquiao? Wasn't that $100?
I think it was. It was close. Yeah. I think it was close to $100.
Nope. I refuse to pay that for a fight. And there's no guarantee that it's going to
go. $80 each is terrible.
Yep.
The local B-dubs I think they still do, but they showed the UFC fights there. So we'd get the B-dubs like at 7:00 so we could get a table. So we'd know we'd have a table for the fights. So then you're sitting inside B-dubs from 7 in the evening to like 1:00 in the morning. It's like,
yeah.
And finally that got old. Like, man, I want to go, but I have to get there so early to get a seat. So,
right. All to see a fight.
Yep, that's the truth, man.
Well, you can go on YouTube and pull up a fight.
Yep. I don't know how them people get away with showing them fights like that.
Oh yes, yeah. You could watch. You could watch live of the fights.
I play 30 seconds of a song, and I get copyright, but then I see people showing videos of it. Well, videos of a fight.
The more people share your content, then that's when they notice it, and then they'll take it down.
Yeah.
Or if it's getting a lot of likes, because it's going viral, right? So everyone's able to see it. More people are able to see it, and then that's when you get stripped.
Oh yeah. If I wouldn't, I don't pay no $80 for them. I'll wait till after and watch the highlights.
Yeah. Well, with the Manny Pacquiao fight. Oh no, not the Manny Pacquiao fight. I'm sorry. That wasn't the Manny Pacquiao fight. That was the Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather fight. That was $100.
Yep.
With that fight, what I did, I watched it on a live stream. That's how I was able to watch it. I watched it on a live stream through Facebook.
Yeah, I watched it on. I forget what I watched on the streams. I forget. Well,
Yeah, I
no,
watched it
wait.
on the live stream on Facebook,
Where did I watch? I
and
watched
and
that.
I wrote about it afterwards.
Yeah, I watched
I
that at
wrote
my
about
cousin's house. I can't remember. I can't remember if he paid for it or what we done, but we watched it. I remember watching at my cousin's house. We had a big.
that was
We
a
had a
terrible
poker. We had
fight.
a poker game that night.
I
We was
wrote
playing.
about how much of a shit show it was.
We were playing some Texas Hold'em while we was watching the fights and stuff, waiting for that fight.
Two guys in the ring hugging like ballerinas. Then you had a UFC fighter putting illegal hits
Hey,
on Mayweather.
but just like Le'Veon Bell going to boxing, people watch. Hell, people watched Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. earlier this year, and I was one of them. I didn't pay for it, but I watched it.
Yeah. Oh, people's gonna watch. You know, if they think it's intriguing enough and if it's promoted very well, people are gonna, they're gonna watch and they're gonna find a way to watch it, and that's
Yep.
what a lot of sports fans do. They find a way. If there's a will, there's a way to watch the games, and now it's more accessible nowadays to watch these pay-per-view events and games because of all the streaming apps and because of you know because it's there. It's easy. It's easy to get now. You have it all right in front of you. You can go on your laptop, watch games. That's what we was talking about on the morning show yesterday. Like, there's really no purpose for an all-star game anymore because you see a lot of these stars, on YouTube. You
Back
can
in the
look up their
day,
highlights and
back
stuff.
in the day, if you lived on one side of the country, you never saw any of the, you hardly knew any of the other players
Right,
until the
from
All Star game
right.
because there was no internet. Unless you were just a diehard baseball fan that went and bought magazines and stuff like that.
Newspapers and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you didn't know as much about the game as is available nowadays.
And that's the reason why they had all-star games. So now the game is not as relevant anymore.
And it
You
used to
know.
decide who won the World Series or who got the World Series home field advantage.
Right. Right. And it's not
And I,
this
and I,
game
I
that
agree with you, Eddie. I've done that a couple times. Paid money for a pay per view, then fall asleep before you
oh
even get to the
yeah,
main event.
the event is so late. Yeah. That could happen.
Only good thing is I've gotten lucky and woke up during the replay and got to get to watch the replay of it.
That's
Most of them come right back on after they're over. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's nice that you can. There's ways to find stuff where you don't have to pay the $80 to $100.
yeah.
I
Oh yeah.
can't.
Like I said, it's all
I can't. I couldn't afford it.
it's accessible now. It's there for you. It's there for your viewing. Like here, like you can go on YouTube and you can watch just about any major sport now. And then you have MLB TV now on your phone and your mobile devices. You can pay for that app and
Yeah,
watch any game you want to watch. So you know who these players are. If you're
remember
a
when-
baseball fan, if you're a baseball fan, you know these players. If you're a casual fan, you don't really know.
well, I remember a few up to I don't know 5-6 years ago, we didn't get there wasn't a whole lot of Cincinnati Reds games that I could watch on TV because we didn't get that regional network here
Right.
where I lived in Indiana, so a lot of them I'd have to listen to on the radio.
See,
But then now that with the internet and everything, and now I get the Fox Sports Ohio. Well, now it's called Bally Sports, but I get the Bally Sports Cincinnati, so I get every Cincinnati Reds game. But it used to not be like that. I remember listening to games on the radio.
it's getting better for sports fans.
I remember listening to games on the radio all the time.
And once live streaming gets better, there won't be any need to pay for cable. There just won't be. But you still have, with the live streams, you still have delays, because sometimes it freezes and, sometimes you're seeing stuff a little bit late. You're not seeing it live or on time. So that's the only thing. But I think they're getting there. It takes time when you're dealing with technology,
Oh yeah, I know. We both know that just doing podcasts and stuff like this.
Right.
Technology can throw you for a loop sometimes.
Right. It could either make you or break you.
I did a whole interview with this guy from California. It's when I first started my podcast about a year ago. It was one of our first interviews, and we talked for almost 3 hours, dude. Just talking, me, him, and another guy that used to do the show with me.
Mm-hmm.
Got off with him, went to listen to it, and he sounded good, but me and my cousin sounded like fucking robots. So I've had to message this dude back. He came back on the next day, and we redone it. But it was still real good. But it was like, man, it wasn't as good as last night, and the recording's trash because I was so mad.
Right. Well, see, that's the thing too.
But I mean, things like that happen sometimes. It's just
And then sometimes when you try to do the show over, it's not the same because it doesn't have that same flow to it.
Yeah.
And
that's what I mean. It was still good, but it wasn't as good as the first time.
Right. I mean, I've had experiences where I lost my articles. I accidentally deleted them. Had to write the whole column over again, and it did not come out the same. And it never does.
Ice Cole is who it was.
That's so frustrating. That has you feeling bad. You know.
I forget where we lived at in California, but he's from California. It's called the Ice Cole Show.
Okay. Was he in Norton or
I can't remember.
Southern?
Yeah, I can't remember. I put a thing on. Look, I was on a podcast thing, and I saw he was looking to be a guest on shows, and looking for somebody to be a guest on his show. So we messaged each other, and he ended up coming on the show. Like I said, it was one of the second guys I had on the show, and it was a great conversation, great dude. But man, I was so mad. I was like, man, we just wasted 3 hours of great content.
Yeah,
we sounded like robots.
Like, it will make you. It will really upset you because like you did all that work and basically for nothing, and it goes to waste because now you got to do it all over again. It's not going to come out the same.
Yeah.
It's going to sound a lot different. And if it comes to that, then it's just no point of me doing that show again. I just do a new one.
We done it again because, like I said, it was one of our first ones. But man, I was so mad.
Right? Yeah. I know the feeling. I've been there before where I've done some shows on my YouTube channel.
Oh yeah,
short videos and some hot takes, and the video sounded great. But then when I listened to it before I upload it, there's no sound to it. I'm like, what the hell? I recorded it loud enough for people to hear it. So why is there no sound? And they had a technical difficulty and audio problems. I'm like, oh my God. Now I gotta do this all over again. I just don't bother to do it. I just do another video on something else.
Oh yeah.
If it comes down to that, nah.
Eddie says he feels like the players were more interesting as individuals a couple of years back, which also made the All-Star game more interesting. They all kind of blend in now. I agree with you a little bit on that, Eddie, because look how many players there were that people were saying that were snubbed out of the All-Star. So so many of these players could be interchangeable. Some of the guys that do make the All-Star team don't play in the All-Star game, and other guys take their spot or they just don't play. So yeah, I agree that the home run more people look forward to the home run derby than they really do the All-Star game. That's
me. I like that event.
Yeah, I watch the home run derby. I love watching the home run derby, and then I watch some of the All-Star game, but other than I don't watch it like I'm not into it the whole time. Where the home run derby, usually it keeps your attention.
It's just on for background noise, huh?
And this year I think it's going to be cool being in LA. So
yeah, it's nice that it's in our backyard. I just wish I could have been there. That would have been even greater. But it's okay. I'll be home watching on TV.
I'll be here watching on TV.
I got my eye on all them Dodger players too, for sure.
All right, Jonathan, before we get out of here, let everybody know where they can find you at. And do you have any final thoughts?
Sure thing. You guys can find me on Twitter, Sports Judge 85. Eddie, if you listening, you can follow me on Twitter as well, Sports Judge 85. You can follow me on Instagram, Sports Judge 85. And you can also follow my fan page on Facebook. Chris knows all about it. It's the Sports Judge. That's the name of the fan page. Um, I got a face of me looking like that. So you could that's my profile picture. You can check me out there. And for all the other viewers out there, you guys can check out my YouTube channel as well. Jonathan Mathis, the sports judge. Look for me there. Jonathan Mathis. I am a cartoon character. That's what my profile picture looks like. So you guys are more than welcome to check me out there. And as for my final thoughts, I just want to say, Chris, thank you once again for having me on. I love coming on this show. I'll be down to come back Friday if you want me to. I'll come back.
I was going to tell you, I won't be. Won't be doing the show this Friday. That was the one thing I was going to say because we're actually going to a concert with my girl and my mom and dad
cool.
and
that's
a couple
cool.
friends.
No, you do that because you know what, life is.
We will be back Monday night, and if you want to come on Monday night,
definitely. Yeah,
like I said, hey, I was going to say after you got done with your final thoughts, that was what I was going to say. You can also find him on Gonzo'S Sports Room because you've been here the last 3 or 4 episodes.
Yeah,
but yeah.
You enjoy yourself at a concert. I
think
we
show Friday night.
Yeah, we all need that. We all need time with our families because life is too short. You never know, so you gotta live each day to the fullest, and you gotta spend as much time as you can with your family. Because I know my family, we lost some loved ones, and it's never the same without those people. So
and you never know when you're going to lose somebody.
Right. So you gotta make every day like it's your last, and you gotta spend. And I hope people are listening to this. Spend time with your family as much as you can. Spend time with your kids. Spend time with your mother. Spend time with your dad. Spend time with your grandparents, whoever that person is, your cousins, your siblings. Spend time with those people because you just never know. And you got to find time for them as well because they're family, and that's everything.
Yeah, we'll be live. We will be live Friday for Easy Money, a sports betting show at 3. We just won't be doing the GSR Friday night. GSR will be back Monday. It's live Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, 11 p.m. Eastern. You got Jonathan. You said you was good for Monday.
Yeah, I'm good for Monday. I'll be back.
So the sports judge will be back on Monday. So that'll be our next GSR. I'm live every day 1 p.m. Eastern. I'll go ahead and finish that since I started with 1. With the ASAP afternoon blitz on the All Sports All Plays ASAP Sports Network. Usually have 3 or 4 other guys on there. Jonathan comes on there sometimes as well. Check out ASAP. They have a lot of good things going on over there. A lot of great shows starting at like 10 in the morning to about midnight midnight. Seems like there's always something on that channel. And there's a great group of guys over there. And you have anything, Jonathan, before we get out of here?
Nah, man, it was another great show.
Oh yeah, I think it was a great show, and another
great show. Plenty to talk about. And if you guys are into graphic tees, you guys know I'm always wearing a graphic tee. And today I got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, man, the original. These are the original Ninja Turtles, the ones that made their debut in 1984.
I'm wearing my Cincinnati Red stuff again.
Nice.
It was game day.
Nice. So on Monday, you will most likely see me in a different graphic tee. I don't know what it is because I always decide what I'm going to wear the morning of.
That's how I am. I'm in the closet like,
yeah. At the last minute, and it could be one of those mornings before a show or a morning where I gotta be somewhere, and I'm in the closet searching for a shirt and looking to see.
Have you seen my graphic tee that has Reggie Miller where he's doing the choke sign?
I like that one.
Well, my son got me that for Christmas one year. It's one of my favorite T-shirts because of course Reggie's my favorite basketball player of all time.
Right. Oh yeah, that's a cool one, man. You can find a lot out there. There are so many.
Well, we got to meet Reggie when we were young. So at a basketball camp that we went to at the Boys and Girls Club.
That's cool.
So and then I was always a Pacer fan, so naturally I was a big Reggie Miller fan. So
yeah, I get so
Rick Smiths.
I get overwhelmed when I'm looking for graphic tees, man. Because there's so many.
Yep.
There's so many to choose from, And
usually you can get
at a good price too.
I was gonna say usually you can get good deals on them too.
Yep, you can, and I use a lot of promo codes. I know for the '80s T-shirts, it's a website called '80s Tees where I shop sometimes for some graphic tees. I get these promo codes, and I get like 20% off, 30% off, and it's always nice. It saves me.
And even on like baseball gear, NBA football gear, if you go to that Fanatics website, a lot of times you can get promo codes where you get 30, 40, 50% off.
Yep. And it saves you a lot of money. You're not
my son got me a $50 gift card for Fanatics for Christmas, but it also had a $10 bonus on it. So it was really a $60 one.
Really?
And they gave me like 30% off. I was able to get two new Indianapolis Colts hats with that gift card.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can find some great deals.
Year before, I bought two Indiana Pacer hats with the gift card he gets me. He usually gets me one of them Fanatics gift cards, either for Father's Day or for Christmas or something. He lets me buy what I want. One year he bought me a Darius Leonard jersey.
Okay, he knows you like caps, so
oh yeah,
he's gonna get you the gift cards because he knows you're gonna use it.
Oh yeah, I have hats everywhere. I have a lot of them up on my table here, but then I have some that are not even, you can't even see on camera when I use my other camera.
Yeah, that's how I am with shoes. I got shoes closet. I got shoes behind me. It's crazy. That's how I am with shoes. I'm not really a cap guy, but I am, as you guys can see behind me, I am a sneakerhead. I'm crazy about sneakers.
And then I've been getting into these lately, these bobbleheads.
Okay. I collect the Funko Pops.
I like these bobbleheads. As you can see, my Hunter Green in the
I like that one.
In a single A uniform.
Those particular bobbleheads are hard to get because they make it to where you have to actually go to the games to get them. And
that's how I got that. One of our friends was at a minor league game and he saw them in the gift shop.
Right.
And he bought one. He grabbed one for me.
Well, you have to be like the first 40,000. I know at Dodger games, you have to be like the first 40-something thousand in attendance to get a bobblehead or whatever they're giving away on that night. Because they don't just give away bobbleheads. They have giveaway nights where they give away blankets, caps, backpacks.
Yeah. We got bags one night.
All kind of stuff.
Like those big grocery bags. They're nice. I use one of them still to this day when I travel for some of my podcast stuff.
Yeah, so they always have some kind of promotion or some kind of giveaway going on at Dodger Stadium.
Just found out today we're doing two big back-to-back shows in August 6th and 7th where the Pope Elijah Burke, used to be a WWE superstar, now he's now he's a NWA superstar. He's going to be at both those shows.
Nice.
I actually got to meet Elijah Burke at the last show. I got to take a picture with him. Great dude, awesome dude. He runs an awesome charity. And it's going to be cool. It's going to be cool to get to see him again here in a few weeks. But yeah, I'm going to get to see him on two shows that we're going to be live streaming on August 6th and 7th.
That's awesome.
So we found that out earlier this evening. I was like, okay, because I got to meet him a couple of months ago, and the dude was cool. We stood around after the show talking and stuff. He's a real personable guy.
That's cool.
But all right, if you don't have anything else, we'll get out of here for the night.
All right, man. Well, I'll see you on Monday, and thanks again to all the viewers out there. This is great, man. This is a lot of fun doing this show.
Oh yeah, I've been having a blast. I want to thank everybody for watching. We've been getting quite a few views with doing since we've been doing this together. So I hope everybody is enjoying it. And hey, if you guys keep watching, we're going to keep doing it. And we will see you guys. Like I said, no show Friday night, but we will be back on Monday. Everybody enjoy your night. Stay safe. And we'll see you guys hopefully tomorrow. If not, we'll see you Monday.
All right. Take care, Chris.
Yep.
that. Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.